Hey guys, welcome to Related Conversations, the group chat on steroids. Here we're going to bring our group chat from the phone and give it to you here, raw, live, and direct. I'm Shar, and I'm here with my cousin Melanie
Hey.
and my cousin Man.
Yo, fellas.
And today we're going to kick off the chat talking about toxic love, child. So let's get into it.
And then
Toxic
I feel like this is a
love,
conversation
child.
for you.
Yeah, let me just start off. Let me just start off by saying I feel like when you're in a toxic situation, a toxic relationship or a situation, only reason why it continues to be a toxic is because of the woman.
Shut the fuck
The
up.
what?
Shut
The
the fuck up. There
female.
ain't
Yes,
no
that's the
way.
only reason why it continues to be
Negro.
toxic.
Did you say toxic relationships are because of women?
No, I said the only reason why it continues to be toxic because of the woman.
Explain, because
Continues.
I need to
All
hear
right,
this.
let me explain that. First of all,
You got to.
let's start from point A, okay, y'all? Let's start from point A. When the relationship becomes toxic, it don't come toxic with just one person, right? It takes two, right?
No,
To
but
be in
okay.
a toxic love, that's the topic. To be in a toxic love, both people have to be involved to keep messing with each other after there's disruption in the right.
Okay.
Okay, so for in order to that to continue, the woman has to, because the man is going to do it no matter what.
The
Toxic,
man
man,
gonna do what?
going to still continue the situation, the relationship.
That's
If the
not
woman cut
always
it off,
true.
it's done.
What
If the
the fuck?
woman cuts off, yes. Fellas, when you see this, please back me up. If the woman realize that this is toxic and she stops it, it's over. The man is never gonna be like, all right. I mean, he might be like that if he really, know what I mean? But if he be like, it's toxic, it's over, and she be like, nigga, I want some, get boom, boom, boom. He might still let her. But if the woman be like, it's over, it's done.
That's
Bullshit.
true.
Bull
Yeah,
fucking shit.
there are men out there who will
First of all,
quickly will get away from a toxic situation after a while. I think toxic situations happen because one or two parties are not healed and whatever they're going on, whatever traumas they had in their life, and sometimes these two people have a trauma bond which they stay together. So it's a whole lot to it. So yes, one person has to be strong enough to walk away, but I believe a man can do it and he will do it. I've seen it.
they do it. But you're not talking about men. You're talking about boy childs. You're talking about man childs. That's what you're talking about. If you're saying a toxic relationship can only continue if a woman is being toxic, or
No,
she's
not if she being toxic. If she allow it to continue,
so if
it's
she
going to
stays in
continue.
it while it's toxic, it's the only reason why it continues. A man never leaves a toxic relationship.
Not if the woman is still letting him
Not you
do
and
it.
your dumbass friends, okay? But men
Not if the
who don't
woman
want to
once
deal
the
with the
woman cut
BS.
it off, it's over. Once the woman cuts the toxic, once she put the scissors to the toxic, it's over. The fella, it could be toxic. They don't care as long
Hold
as
on.
they fucking is
They
getting
do
sucked.
care.
You don't sit here and think about this. The fact that a nigga won't leave a toxic relationship, and the only time y'all do leave a relationship that's like that, when you have this mindset, is when there's another woman involved. Okay? That's toxic. You're there creating, nurturing this toxic environment, trying to thrive in it, not caring about your effects on the women, probably the kids, because all you niggas got kids. And you're sitting there talking about, oh, men never leave these situations, not
I ain't say
men
that.
who that's what you're saying. That's what he said. Is that what he said?
That's what he said.
That's what you said.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. But what I'm all right. You right about
Charlie
that.
was
Listen,
like,
okay, all right. We're gonna say most guys, most guys is gonna stay, even if it's drama, just because. Know what I mean, like she killed herself when she sucked dick. She tried to kill herself. She's when she sucked dick. So even though she cursed the nigga out, threw the nigga clothes out the window, blah blah blah. If she tried to suck him off that night, he probably let her. And some girls still let niggas fuck if they don't want to fuck nobody else, but they in a toxic relationship. The sex is good. He done did all this shit to her. Some girls do that too. Some girls still stay because of sex, even though they're in a toxic situation, just like some men stay. But most of the time when a female be like, nigga, I don't give a fuck. You got the best dick in the world, but nigga, this is toxic. It's stressing me out. This shit is over. It's over. But when a guy do that and a female be like, nigga, come over. I'm sorry. I made you, what's the name? Blah, blah, blah. Nigga, the nigga might come. Like,
I think we're stunned. The women were too stunned to speak. Like the fuck? Wait a minute. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying.
Ish.
That is one, you're saying that men are pussies. Men are pussies because you niggas don't like conflict so much that you'd rather
Right.
thrive in a conflict that she's also a part allowing rather than just leave because y'all are pussies. And then women, when it comes to that toxic thing, I think a lot of the time women deal with toxic relationships for a long time. And I'm speaking from experience because we love you niggas. You wasn't toxic when you was making me fall in love with you. Shit became that way. And then me, a woman, trying to get back to the point where we were before we got here, I'm taking my time. So yeah, I should have left you when you did that thing. We should have broke up when I retaliated and did that thing. But I'm operating from a place of love. A man is operating from a place of fear, which I would argue is more toxic. And then when we realize there is nothing that can be done to get us back to that point, all there is this toxic shit. We do get over it and then we do leave. But I think the bigger conversation here is not that women allow toxic relationships to thrive. I think it's that men are too fucking scared to actually do what needs to be done for their own selves, and everyone who is involved with them have to suffer for it. We don't blame us because y'all can't take the move to do what you need to do.
All right. Shaw, you
After
want
you
to
got
respond to
mommy
that before I say
issues, you're
something?
not healed, you need a therapist, you need all this, you go to these women bouncing back and forth looking for things that we cannot give you, but that lady who you can pay $50 copay to can probably seek you through and heal you, so you'll stop bouncing from woman to woman and ending up in these toxic relationships. Okay, you got to heal the inner traumas that you have. That's where the toxicity comes from, man or woman.
All right. So now,
Good dick or
all
no
right.
good dick.
Let's see. Now you saying like men go from we got mommy issues, go from woman to woman. Females do that too. They
Of
go
course.
from man to
Yes.
man,
Yes. But
have
we're
daddy issues.
100%.
I'm gonna
100%.
say something here.
I just said that, man or woman, every like you gotta heal your
Oh,
person.
right. But no, but you were saying the men got mommy. You
Because
started
you
off saying the
said
men got mommy issues, and we go from woman to woman.
that y'all do.
That's a toxic response right there. The fact that you couldn't even address that she's saying this about men because that's what we're talking about. You got to bring in, oh, women do it too. That doesn't change that didn't make what she said wrong. It's not saying, oh, it's okay. I'm sharing the blame with a woman. So now that makes it okay. It's not okay, men or women, but that wasn't the point. She said, we're talking about men in this moment. That was the conversation.
He missed the point when I
We
said
talking about
both
men
people are
and women.
unhealed.
I
He missed
said
that.
what?
And when I said both people are unhealed and need to heal
Because he was
themselves.
too busy trying to defend it.
Yeah, both people is unhealed. Okay, all right, both people unhealed. Let's stop right there. No, let's
Okay.
stop right there. Seriously, both people unhealed, right? If
Mm-hmm.
you got two people that's unhealed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Out of these two people, the man and the woman, if they keep messing with each other unhealed,
Yes.
right? If the man be like, "Yo, I'm done. I'm gonna get my I'm gonna heal myself." Blah 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 blah. If
Therapist.
the girl be like, "I'm done. I'm gonna heal myself." Blah 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 blah. If these two cross paths again, where they conversating about being with each other again, and they not all the way healed, who you think out of the man or the woman is gonna be the reason why it comes back together?
You
And they
serious?
both not healed.
I'm lost.
That's I get what you're trying to do. It's just not working. That's not the way that works.
What I'm basically saying is, if the woman is completely done with the man, it's over.
Because women leave and
Even
we
if
get
she's
because
not
we
healed, if she
grow.
healed or healed.
It's because women grow. So I've been in this toxic situations with you, right? No, a real life situation. I was in a toxic relationship for a long time, right? And I'm not even that kind of person, but with this person, it brought out the worst in me. And then when I got done and I left, like you said, women always be the one to leave because we have the bravery to do what needs to be done. I've healed from there. Me and homeboy is cool now. And this was years ago, years ago. And I see he's been with his girlfriend for like 7, 8, 9 years. The same shit that he was doing. And I met this man when we was freshmen in college. I am 36 next week. Do you understand what I'm saying? He's doing the same shit. And I said it to him. We was on the phone a couple weeks ago. I'm like, you don't think that you should probably try to do something different because you're causing this woman the exact same turmoil? I can tell you from our relationship, I was able to identify some of the things that I did wrong. I was able to work on some of the things that I did wrong. I was able to gauge what it is I actually wanted from a partner, what it is I wanted to give to a partner. He has never thought of anything more than himself, his pleasure, his dick. He has never grown in his grown age. He's grown financially, but his mind, the way he deals with women is the same way it was when we was 19, 20, 23 years old. That's crazy because he's almost 40. Do you understand what I'm saying? Women grow and men that y'all don't in this toxic thing. That's why you're saying a woman would be the one to go back. That's not true. A man would be the one willing to go back because that's why men spin the block.
I'm basically saying what I'm basically saying is 9 times out of 10, if you're in a toxic situation, it's because if it's a toxic love going on, it's because the woman is allowing it. That's basically what I'm saying.
So
You're
I think
blaming women for men.
we're at an impasse. I'm gonna raise a new question because we don't seem to gonna agree to that. What makes a relationship toxic? It's not only cheating, because I've been in toxic relationships. I've never stayed because somebody kept cheating on me. I ain't never been there, but what else defines a toxic relationship to you guys?
It could be the verbal abuse, not cheating. It could be verbal, the way he talks to you. It could be y'all don't basically like y'all don't really do what y'all did at the beginning. Like
Lack of affection.
lack of affection. Know what I mean, lack of spending time together, doing
No
shit.
encouragement. You constantly
Yeah.
giving me criticisms for things when you should be my biggest cheerleader, like I'm trying to be yours. Toxic relationships are things like, oh, you're always disparaging me, making me feel like my self-esteem should be lower because you're commenting me negatively how I look. You're saying, toxic relationships, you're trying to isolate me from my friends and family, and I'm spending all my time with you, and we're not even enjoying this time.
So you
There's a
think
lot.
No
the
communication.
base of all of that would be insecurities, you would say?
Yeah.
Not
No,
always, but yeah, usually it's part of it.
Usually when a
for
man is
me,
verbally abusing a woman and calling her names and not making her feel worthy of the queen that she is, it's because of the insecurities that
for,
he has. And it could go the other way too. I always go that way. Yeah.
all right, for me, I'm gonna give y'all an example. For me, I was in a toxic situation where it was toxic to the point where I didn't want it to be toxic, so I wouldn't even say nothing when I felt some type of way about something. It was like
What
a
was it?
quiet toxic, huh?
It was toxic because was there cheating going on? You gotta what
No, it
was
wasn't cheating. Like just say I felt some type of way about something, and I knew if I said something, it was gonna cause an argument, so I didn't say nothing. It was like a quiet toxic. Like
Mm.
instead of me talking about it, I won't even say nothing because I knew it was gonna be like this. It was gonna be a back and forth instead
yeah.
of you know what I mean. And that was toxic right there without it even going all the way.
Because
It
you
was
weren't
toxic.
able to communicate.
Yeah.
So my
Commu-
question to you is, why didn't you leave when you was in a relationship where you felt like you couldn't even speak freely?
She
Cause
gave
you know
good
how when
head.
you said the women be in love, I was in love.
You wasn't scared. Like if
that's
you
why
left and you
that's
wasn't
why
worried
I
about
ain't say
losing your
nothing.
livelihood.
Huh?
Like if you left, was you worried about losing your livelihood? Like whatever, if y'all lived together, if y'all had cars together, or whatever together, was you worried about that
Yeah,
as
I
well? And
felt
that's what
like
kept you there.
I felt like if I said something, it would lead to an argument that would lead to a breakup. Even though I felt some type of way about whatever I wanted to talk about, I didn't want it to lead to an argument or a breakup.
Mm.
So I didn't say nothing. I'd just be like, let it time go by, and then if I got mad or time went by, I'll probably bring it up. You know what I
But why
mean?
did you
But
feel
instead of
comfortable staying in something like that? Like Melanie said, did you feel like if y'all broke up, you would have to things would change for you financially, or you felt like if you broke up, you'd be heartbroken, but you couldn't even talk to this person, you're walking on eggshells. So why did you want to stay there?
just hoping that, you know what I mean, it'll work out. It'll be better without talking about it.
Hope.
Kind of. I mean, just thinking like,
Yeah.
not even knowing that it's not going to happen like that, but just
Yeah.
thinking like, don't say nothing because it's going to be an argument, and it'll be better tomorrow. Type shit. Like you know what I mean? Like it'll be better tomorrow.
But when is enough enough? When does hope run out?
I don't think it's hope.
He said
I'm
hope.
gonna.
He said hope.
I mean, you hoping that it's, but I feel like that's not what makes it enough. I feel like it's not so much the hope. Uh, it's like you're holding on to this thing. And I guess it is. I guess it is hope running out, because it's like it's once you realize. Because even when you realize like this isn't going to work, you don't leave in that moment. You probably don't
Right.
even leave in that week, that year. You know, like
Right.
for me, I knew this just isn't. You know what I mean? But I was still willing, with no hope. I was still willing to go the whole 9 yards with it. I moved states. I did all sorts of shit that in a matter of months it blew up. And it was like when it finally blew up, even though I knew before I got there that this wasn't going to work,
Yeah.
it took that final blow up. And I don't know why it was so different than everything else for me to finally everything click. It's just a click moment. You can have given up hope and still stay because it might be toxic, but it's familiar, it's comfortable. We stay at jobs, apartments, all sorts of shit just because it's comfortable, even when it's not good. And I don't think relationships are an
Different.
exception to that.
Staying in what's familiar, uh, the the devil you know, things like
Mm-hmm.
that, being
Mm-hmm.
comfortable
Mhm.
and stuff like that. But if you were in a toxic relationship, just throwing it out there to everyone, like if you're in a toxic relationship and you get out of it, now you're out of it, right? What steps do you take so you're not bringing that into your next relationship? Because you can't just say it was him because you were in it too, contributing to the toxicity. So now, what do you do to heal yourself so you're not dragging it over into your new situation
But let's
outside of
ask you
going to
that.
therapy? Yeah, ma'am,
No,
you're
let's
welcome.
ask you that because I think you're good at doing things to make yourself better. So what,
For
you know,
me,
I'm sure we've all been in a relationship where shit just wasn't the way it's supposed to be.
yeah.
What have you done?
So for me, I realized I played a huge hand in the toxic relationships that I've been in, and I'm doing the work now so that my next relationship I'm coming in fully healed, right? So you can think like, oh no, it was just him because that's how I thought, like, oh, it's crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like he's out of control. But then you're like, wait a minute, but maybe if I could have done things differently, it would have been this, right? And that was all through therapy, reading books, journaling, and just really taking some time for myself before I get into a new situation. A lot of people jump from relationship to relationship, even when they're healing themselves. But you're over here in this new relationship. When are you going to take some time for yourself? I was abstinent. I didn't date anyone. I did a whole thing for myself. But now, do I feel like I'm fully healed? We're all a work in process. It's a journey. So it's just really focusing on yourself and the things that you want and the things that you're willing to accept and the things that you're wanting to give to the next person. Because coming out of something toxic, it really drains you. Even subconsciously, if you think, oh, please, not me, your subconscious, it's in there. So you really got to do the work for yourself. That's what I would say.
Let me ask you a question too.
Sure.
Do you think do you think like basically I agree with you when you say like working on yourself after a relationship to heal yourself, blah blah blah. Do you think you can do that without with messing with somebody but not being in a relationship with somebody? Like say you're not in a relationship but you messing with somebody. But y'all not in a relationship. But you still
Something
working on
casual.
yourself, healing yourself. Cause you know how you say like basically take some time to yourself. You know how
Yeah,
people be like, we ain't together.
yeah,
I'm not with nobody, but
yeah,
I would do something with somebody. Am I
yeah.
still working on myself in that process?
Yes, you can casually date and work on yourself. Me, I'm not suggesting anybody did what I did. I didn't date anybody. I didn't do anything. It was years. It was horrible, right? But I'm noticing you can take some time for yourself because you have needs. You still have to feed your soul, right? So you can casually date someone. You can find someone who speaks to you, who's funny as hell. I'm gonna go out with him because he's funny, or somebody who speaks to your intelligence. Things like that. So you don't have to, if you're not ready to be in one full committed relationship, you can certainly casually date. Absolutely.
And how do you know if you ever fully healed?
Are you ever really fully healed? That's
I
the
think
first
that's a
question.
misconception.
Yeah.
I think it's a misconception. The idea that you can be
Yeah.
fully healed. I think to be fully healed, life has to stop going and there's nothing else that's going to happen.
Right.
But I also think, just going back to what you said, the idea of healing and working on yourself, people think you have to be alone. You don't have to be alone to work on yourself.
Right.
You know, life, you can still do things in life. It's now you're more aware of the things that you did that you don't want to do again. That's part of working on yourself, having that self-awareness. You know what I mean? Like, we're sitting here having this conversation. I think I've grown. I haven't mentioned how stupid you look with these 2 stars on your face. What the fuck is going on?
That was
Amazon.
gross.
Amazon, the people that know, these are pimple patches.
Oh God, the ugly cousin in the chat.
The kids, I got 2 pimples.
Yes, you do. We see. We are all there. They look like they glow in the dark.
Neon
But
green.
Well,
neon,
once these pimples is fully healed, you won't see this no more.
you're just gonna be less ugly.
you see how I like that? You like that, right?
You're
Once
just
these
covering
pimples is
up
fully
now.
healed, you won't see the toxic no more because they're gonna be fully healed.
Do you feel like you're trying to heal from something, or like you've done anything to heal from something? Are you wanting to be better in your next relationship? All of that goes together as a package still, those questions.
Yeah, all right. So I feel like most guys, I don't, maybe some don't, but me, I feel like I think most guys heal most of the time just by not giving a fuck about what happened before.
Oh, can I say something?
Here we go. Here we go.
Because, oh my God, have
Here
you
we
not been on the
go.
internet in the last 5 years? There is 101 conversations every 2 minutes about how men aren't able to express themselves. They can't talk about their feelings. Da, 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 da. They're not doing the work to heal. And you're saying that you think healing, men
Nah, I didn't
healing.
say that. I didn't
No,
say that.
you said it. You think men healing is
I
by
think
not
healing
giving
is
a
working
fuck?
on yourself.
Not giving a fuck means not doing anything. That means repeating the same fucking things that you did before. Let me ask you a question.
Okay, all right. Go ahead. Ask me, I'm gonna explain something to you real quick.
You gonna have to explain something to me, because I'm like, if you think that, do you feel like from your last relationship and a relationship before that and a relationship before that, there has been any difference of growth in you since you don't
Yes, all
like
the way, 100%. I'm gonna tell you why.
explain? I'm gonna need.
All right.
I'm all ears.
Okay, be all ears, please. Be all ears, all right? Because after my what's the name? Not the last breakup, the breakup before that. The breakup.
You need some type of descriptor or something. You is Mr.
Listen,
Bitches.
I'm not the
We
breakup
five girls
before the
back.
last. Oh my god.
I didn't even know.
Wait, I'm going to the last relationship. I don't even know whose last relationship was.
They gonna call you bitches, granddad. The fuck?
Can you
Give a
listen? Can you
descriptor.
listen? Can y'all listen? Can y'all listen?
Sorry.
The breakup before the last. I put the work in. Like I put the work in so much. I see people doing stuff I did in what was that 2018, where this is when I don't know, y'all remember because we was on Martin Pole. This is when I went to Houston to TD Jakes church. When I took myself out for my birthday, I was working on getting closer to God. This was after a breakup. This was the breakup before that one. After that
Attention.
breakup, I was working on myself. Huh?
I don't think that could count.
What?
This is the same person we talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm trying to get to.
You
Okay.
can't
So,
heal yourself
once
and
I-
stay with the same toxic chick. It's not gonna work.
Oh my God! Can you listen?
I'm lost.
What I'm telling you, what I did after the last breakup before the last was work on myself to be a better person. I was working on myself. When I'm telling you, I worked on myself all the way till I went to the man church. I was watching him every day, listening to him, watching other stuff, listening to stuff. You know what I mean? Working on myself, learning stuff. Till I'm like, man, I wanna go, in person. Like, you know what I mean? I took myself out there for my birthday, blah 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 blah. But what would happen with what y'all saying, like, does that count? Because it's the same person. So what happened is, me during this process, I'm still hearing about family, family, family. So I'm like, if I feel like I put the work in to be a better person, I could be a better person to my kid's mother to be a better, boom, a better family. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
But what I didn't realize is what I realize now, like what we just said at the beginning, is not a one person job. It's
Right.
not, you know what I mean? So even though I was trying to work on myself, I'm still going back to the same person. You know what I'm saying? So even if she didn't do nothing wrong, she's still her, but she don't know she's doing something wrong, so she can still trigger me to be mad at the shit I was mad at before, or you know what I mean? So it just basically was like a revolving door. And then now I get to the point where I don't even care. Like I'm not. But when I say like I don't, sometimes I think niggas get to the point where they don't even care is because they like whatever. Like it's like okay, I tried my hardest. I did
Mhm.
shit. I did. Now I don't even care.
Yeah.
It seems like you were adding things like, the TD Jakes and, looking for stuff, but I feel like the reason why healing isn't just changing what you do or what you surround yourself with. Sometimes it's removing things from your life and taking a cold hard look at some things. Because while you were doing on that journey, adding that stuff, I think there were things you needed to take away from yourself and take a look at things because you would have been able to see your partner while you're on this journey of growth. You would have been able to see your partner a bit more clearer and have a bit more understanding. You going back to that and a couple of times, let's the outside viewers, me, Nika, Shar, lets us know that you were
Not
upset,
fully
you
healed.
were done, you weren't healing properly though. You weren't taking the proper steps to heal because the first thing you would have to do was separate yourself. You cannot heal from something that's constantly giving you poison. If I'm putting the shit in your right arm, you sucking it out in your left arm, nothing is happening.
You can't go to rehab and then go back and live in the crack house. That's the house was toxic. You can't. You got to remove yourself altogether. Only if the two of you had decided, sat down. I'm a big advocate for therapy. Sat down with a third party, a preacher, whoever, and said, "We want to work on this together, and these are the things that we're going to do." Then that would have helped because she'd have been working on herself, and he would have been working on himself. They would have came together, and the house wouldn't have been a crack house no more.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been in the Hamptons.
It's that togetherness that causes the problem with growing in the relationship, which is why they say, come already healed, come already grown. Because going through this with you, our journeys may be separate while we're trying to walk this path together. That doesn't work that way. And I just feel like that was something you could have learned back then, but you were doing self-healing while not having the tools equipped that you needed to heal. Some people are able to do a bit more than others without like therapy or community. You're not one of them people.
I mean, y'all can hear me.
Yeah, we get you.
Um, I feel like with everything, not just that, but everything, some shit has to happen for you to learn that. I don't think I knew that at that time,
Oh, for
but
sure.
now that happened, I feel like yeah, I can't take the poison out the right and be, you know what I mean? Like go back to the crack house. I feel like I know that now, but then I'm thinking like this person really had me feeling like okay, they y'all never all right. So y'all never had nobody feel like well, not had nobody feel like no had you knew that they was a part of the problem, but they constantly told you like they didn't do nothing wrong. Like nigga, I didn't do nothing wrong. Blah 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 blah. So you feel like it's you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I felt like
the
it was me.
manipulation.
So even though
Narcissistic trait.
yeah, like even though I was an addict and went back to the crack house, I felt like it was because it was the crack house wasn't the problem. It was me. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get it.
So but I feel like the shit had to happen so I could learn from it
Yeah, I mean, it's
because
the fact that it's a crack house. It's never going to be good. The house is cracked. But
but
yeah,
it's not you don't it's a crack house, but the crack house is not saying I'm a crack house. The crack house is saying
Right.
like, nigga, I ain't no crack house. You the one coming in here smoking crack.
So let me ask you just to kind of move forward. As a black man, we always know they say black men, the black community in therapy just not a thing. It's been coming to us more now, right?
Mhm.
As a black man, would you go to therapy?
Hell yeah.
Do you feel like your friends would go to therapy?
Hell no.
And what is the difference? Because
I feel
you
like
know,
I maybe they would now, but I feel like even when I was doing the church thing, I was trying to get them into it. I was trying to get people to come with me to TDJ, like my friends to come with me. Like niggas was not trying to hear that. Like nigga, I'm not going out there to go to church. Like you know what I mean? Like they wasn't hearing it so bad they didn't believe I was going out there to go to church. They thought I was going because I was meeting a girl or some shit. But
mm,
they ain't trying to hear that.
because it came out of left field. I remember I was in Houston I was in Houston for work, and you hit me up. You know, I was in Houston. You said, "Are you going to Potter House?" And I'm like, "What is?" I had to Google what is Potter House. Like, well, I'm like at the church. I said in my head, but I wanted to make sure. I'm like, why is man excited, like wanting to go to? Like that's when you started telling me how you was or whatever. But it did kind of come out of left field. Maybe for you, it didn't come out of left field because you have been internalizing that and you build up to take.
For them, it didn't either because I was talking to them about it. But I feel like they have to go through that for them to, you know what I mean? Like you can't just. I feel like they got to go through something to make them want to get closer to like therapy or God or something. They got to go through that. You can't just be like,
I
yo.
feel like they've been through it. It's them wanting to do it. I think. I think your friends has been through it.
Yeah, I
Because
don't know.
even close as in you guys had some friends that passed away. You know what I'm saying? And that's grief. You know what I'm saying? That you all are dealing with. That's something that could be healed through talking to a third party, a preacher, a therapist, or something like that, instead of just pouring out the liquor every birthday for the person. You know what I'm saying? Like it's trauma. It is trauma.
I feel like we got a cousin or cousins male cousins that need therapy.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
For sure.
but I feel like they not gonna do it until like the last result. You know what I mean? Like
You know, because people take that toxicity we was talking about in relationships, and that doesn't stay in a relationship. If you are able and capable of that kind of toxicity, it's not just with your significant other. That should seep into your families, your friendships, your parenting, and then you start to see that as normal. If your environment is always covered with this one thing, you know how to navigate it, you're comfortable with it. This is what normal is to you. An onlooker who ain't never been through this crazy shit is like, that shit is wild, and for you it's just Tuesday. It's just Tuesday.
Yeah.
Sure. Nah, that's crazy. So y'all think that's where it starts at? If you get in a toxic relationship, do you think it started like with your toxic family or parent or like, you know what I mean, like before the relationship?
Some type of environment, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
how you were raised helps. I was dating this one guy. He said, "You understand, Sean? You know, I grew up in survival and not love, so this is why I'm this way." And I'm like, "Okay, so what are you gonna do to get out of it at this big old age?" You know what I'm saying? So I think the environment that you grow up in matters, and you do bring that into your relationships, into your parenting, into your career, into it all. You gotta heal that inner whatever it is, you know.
because people take those experiences from when you were younger, and it does suck. People have been abused, molested, abandoned, just fucked with in the worst ways. But it gets to a point in time where, yes, that is not your fault that those things happen to you, but it is your responsibility to heal that, to work on that, to fix that. Because there's no way you can be a 30, 40, 50-year-old adult human, man or woman, and still saying, I'm this way because this thing happened to me when I was 10. This thing happened to me when I was 12. Okay, and now you're 43 and you're still using an excuse from 30 years ago? That doesn't work. Now your trauma is the responsibility of all of those around you. And then you're wondering why no one is ever there for you because you are not you're an energy suck. You're giving that toxicity you went through to me, and you want me to give you sympathy for going through it while enduring all the pain that you had is now coming to me. That doesn't work.
It doesn't work. And I know somebody who grew up in a 2-parent home, nice, whatever, like whatever, and then he wanted to run the streets, and he went to jail. And when he had to get therapy from, because he spent 3 years in jail, and what it did to him. So it's not always your home life or what you grew up in. It could be like things happen to you in your adulthood. You know, like I think if you went to prison, you definitely need to get some type of therapy, because I don't care what nobody say. I did the time ain't do me. Yeah, now go sit on somebody's couch and talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Because it got to be something going on in there. Because it's not a natural thing to be locked up for a certain amount of years. It's just not. You know what I'm saying?
So as a female,
men or women,
over 30, if you single and you're a female over 30, right? I don't think God's gonna do this, so there's no only point in putting guys into. But as a female over 30 and you dating a guy, is that a question that y'all asking them?
Are you
Like,
healed?
yeah. Like,
are you healed?
have you ever?
Do you like white
No,
girls?
not are you healed? Have you ever went through therapy, or are you
guy.
going through therapy? Do you have a therapist?
No.
What? I didn't hear him.
He said, "Do you ask? Do you have a therapist?"
or have you ever
Oh well,
been to
I do.
therapy?
I
I'm
don't.
talking to this one guy now, and we talked about it all. Okay, and he sent me this thing. He said, "This is you, Shar." It said, "When you're dating over a certain age, you're asking, are you in therapy? Do you have what's your 401k? What's your credit? What's your thing?" It's just different things that you talk about when you get older. If you're looking to settle with that person, if I'm thinking like I might want to kick a try, I need to know, what have we done to heal? Have you been through some shit? I'm very open and honest. In this stage in my life, I need to know, only because I'm in a different place. And I need to know what you're trying to bring over here. You know what I'm saying? Because I need to know. And if you
I
haven't
think
been to
that's
therapy, I'm not going
important.
to judge you. That's your business. But what are we doing here?
I don't do that. I ask questions to gauge you myself, and if you seem unstable and this is gonna sound messed up, I also don't deal. I won't deal with somebody who I think is going to be a heavy load because of the baggage that they have. If you're dealing with a lot of mental and emotional battles, that's not for me. I don't ask, have you been to therapy or do you go to therapy? But I do have my own set of exploration questions and tactics to figure out, you don't seem stable, you seem very stable. That's the sort of thing. But as a man, because they always say men crazy women, y'all love crazy bitches, y'all don't leave toxic situations, does that mean that you take more care to have discernment with this woman that you're courting or dating or fucking, whatever you're doing, before getting into with her, knowing that if it's toxic, as a man, you're not going to leave until she's ready to go?
No, because if her head is good, she's going to stay. He said,
Oh, right, he did say
yeah.
He's
that
gonna.
that brain and that dick, man. Huh?
He's not gonna. He could leave, but he's not gonna be done. Like he don't have to necessarily be done.
But why would you start? I'm talking about me and you go on a date, right? Hypothetical. You go on a date with somebody else that was uncomfortable, and you meet her, and y'all go on 3 dates, and in that time, you done found out she didn't slash her ex's tires. She just showing you some shit where she's just like emotionally fucked up. Y'all had sex though, and on your first date, it's fire. She's also fun. You know what I mean? She's fun. You don't know too much about her parenting skills because let's be real, most people got kids. Are you going to date her? Because I feel like most
Yeah.
men.
I'm telling you now. Me now, no. Me years ago, yes. A few know what I mean? Now, no, because I'm just over it. I'm just tired. I'm just tired of dealing with that.
Yeah.
But a few years ago, nah. If I feel like she just looked good and I just gotta have it, I don't care what you did to that nigga. I don't care if you killed that nigga cat, dog. I don't care. Like I got to have this. But now that I'm old and there's a lot of shit stressing me out, these kids, life, all this other shit, like, nah, my girl, you crazy. I'm good. But before, I don't listen. Once I seen you and I wanted you, I had to get you. I don't care. A girl could be like, nigga, I got 10 kids, 8 baby daddies. All right. After this, let me just after this, and then you can go like, you know what I mean? Like, that was then though. That was, you know what I mean? Now it's just like, oh hell no, hell no.
Yeah.
Men are
Hell
so
no.
fucking easy. All they need is something to jiggle in the right way, and then all
That's
of a
a fact.
sudden, y'all willing to risk it all. That's
It takes
crazy. That's
experience
toxic in
though.
itself.
No, it takes experience. You gotta go through something though. Because if you don't go through nothing, you're just gonna be like, nah, me, what? I don't care. That got nothing to do with me. But after you dealing with toxic, after you just like, yo, I don't want to deal with this shit no more. After a while, it get tiring. Not only the toxic relationships, just life period on top of the relationships, and you dealing with kids and all that. Like it's like you get older, you don't want to deal with that shit no more. But when you younger, it's like, okay, you stabbed your baby father 5 years ago, went to jail for it. That'll have nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? When you like, you look fucking good. Like, what is your
That's
number?
wild to me, because if a guy
Yeah.
told me when I was 25 that he stabbed up his baby mother, I'm like, I don't want no parts of this.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
It all depends. Like, I feel like when I was younger, you told me that shit. I don't care. Like, if you really look good, there's nothing you could have said to me. Like, if I was attracted to you like that, there's nothing you could have
That
said.
is
I was
a
taking my
lack.
chances.
That is a lack of discipline and immaturity,
Mhm.
just covering you. Because, like me, if I was in my younger 20s, you told me some shit like that. Nah, like when I was younger, I used to fuck with this dude, right? And he was older, but he sold drugs and shit. I don't like that kind of guy. I deal with square geek, good, straight and narrow type people. This dude was a fucking crack dealer. He was so much fun. And then we got pulled over one day, and this nigga had a gun in the car. I don't know how he had been to jail. He had a fucking felony for like attempted murder or some shit. I was going through things. But that moment, I said, oh, this not for me. But I also I knew this wasn't for me before I got there, but I was like, this not for me. And so I don't think necessarily you have to go through a certain experience to know that you fucking up. I think again that's a lack of discipline and immaturity. But it's just like when I got in that situation, I already knew that I shouldn't have been there. You know what I mean? And I knew I would never be there again. But you niggas to go through something 4, 5, 6 times, and then when you get damn near 40, now all of a sudden you learned your lesson. Why are your head so hard?
Oh, can I stop you right there? Because when you say you niggas, let me tell you what the girls do that's not uh mentally developed yet to realize not to fuck with that type of person. This is what y'all do. Not y'all, but this is what the girls do. When they see a nigga ain't shit to their girl or this type of nigga toxic, he did this, you know what girls think? The ones that's not there yet? That ain't me. They won't do that to me. Or I'm not her. You know what I'm saying? So niggas do it like at a young age. They don't care. But it's girls that feel like just because he did that to her, he ain't gonna do that to her. He ain't gonna do that to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
There's men
fucking
who think
worse.
that too.
Huh?
That's a people thing. You just don't learn. You think that that's called exceptionalism. You
Yeah,
think
like
that you're
I'm
the
not her.
exception to this rule. That's not a woman and a man thing. That's just a stupid thing. And people
That's
Yeah.
a
just
stupid thing.
And like you said, like y'all be one love, the female really be looking at the dude like I could see myself with this dude. Even though I seen this nigga cheat on his girl, I seen him, the girl, complain all year on Facebook about the nigga, but I'm telling myself, I'm not her. He ain't gonna do that to me.
I never thought like that. I never had that. I've seen him cheat and let me jump in. I've never.
like there's no man in the world that deserves to win that much. You got to cheat on your girl and have me. Now you get 2 bitches. Your prize is me being one of them. There's not a man in the world that deserves that kind of reward. Ain't no way. And girls who think like that, they're centering the man and not centering themselves. I'll tell you that much. You sitting here trying to one up her, and all he doing, he got both of y'all. And y'all know about each other. Bitches who fighting, phone calls, text messages, and he can still go through both of y'all. Toxic. And he loves the attention.
It's the audacity, right? One thing men
It's
have
always the
is
audacity.
I was out celebrating my birthday at the club one night. It was a bachelor party of guys, and the groom tried to ask for my phone number.
The groom,
The
The
groom,
groom.
like we were all hanging out, and then we all started exchanging social medias or whatever. He was in my DM
that's
like
crazy.
a week later, I think, and I was like, "How
Well,
was it like?"
maybe he met the girl in MySpace and flew out to Cali and married her. Maybe he didn't know her like that. It's like
Maybe.
You've
nah,
been
but that's
toxic since
nah.
MySpace. You've been stupid since MySpace,
Yeah.
nigga. Yeah.
Nah, I ain't fucking with no toxic no more. Girl, she could tell me she want me to cash app her, and I'm done talking to her now, nigga. Like it be any little thing now. If a fucking I don't like, nah, I'm not dealing with that shit now. But back then, like, come on, I don't like
No,
it
so
was
now
different.
it's like it's petty. Like, what did you say to me the other day? I was like, "What's the pettiest thing when you didn't want to talk to a girl anymore?"
Oh, I
So,
cut off because she had the AC and the fan on. Hmm.
so he's past not dealing with toxic.
Yeah, I'm
Now
not
he's
dealing
like,
with toxic.
"Bitch, if you put the AC on, I don't want to deal with you anymore."
I told her I was cold when I stayed the night. She would cut it off, but when I fall asleep, she would cut the shit back on. I would wake up freezing. Like it's an AC and a fan on at the same time. I'm freezing. I told her like, yo, I'm done. I can't do this. Like you keep cutting shit on. It's too cold in here.
I
Yeah.
was crying. I was like, "Wait, what? You don't want to talk to her because she had the AC on?" Like that is. So he is fully healed. Okay, he's like, "I'm not messing with that."
Yeah, I'm not doing
Yo.
that.
You can add if you freeze me to his list of hard no's because wow.
Cause I would have froze my ass off back in the day.
I was laughing so hard. I was like, "You don't want to talk to her because she had the fan on?" Okay.
No, she can have the fan or just put one on. I told her just put one. She got both. Like she's like, what the fuck are you doing? You can't sleep without both. Yeah, both of them.
I'm crying. Oh my god.
You would have had to go because I'm gonna let you know now. As a girl who sleeps with the AC and the fan, I am never choosing a man over that. That
That's
is a
fine. See,
staple in
that's
my
where
life.
we at.
What she
That's
said.
where we at.
Fan
I'm fine with that.
Yes, because I do not like to be hot. Let me tell you, I was hanging out with my little boo thing, and the fan was off, and it was hot. I'm sitting there like this, and he looked over like, "What's the matter with you? It's fucking hot. Like, put it on the fan. You acting all crazy. You trying?" I'm like, "You don't know me. In the summertime, it's getting hot outside. Like, put this shit on. It's serious. There's no way you about to be up in my bed, a whole nother person with body heat." Body heat. I don't care how skinny you are, nigga. And I can't have my room the cool, cold temperature. That's why they made blankets. Grab a few or something, but I'm never choosing a man over my temperature comfort ever.
My ex used to sleep with a little isolating fan every night.
Mm-mm.
I'm like, what kind of fat shit is this? Like, I cannot. Like,
Yeah.
I cannot.
Okay, so from this healing, everyone's done some healing. Have you come up with a list of like deal breakers, hard no's when you are meeting somebody? Like when I meet somebody, there's specific questions I ask because there's just certain things I'm not willing to move forward with. Have you guys come up with an actual list that you refer to when you meet somebody?
No.
So how do you know what you're looking for?
I don't got no list. If I don't like it, I'm out.
But how do you know? So you want to be in a relationship in the future. You've been through long-term relationships. You have children, right?
Mm.
I feel like each relationship we learn more about what we want and what we will tolerate, what we're willing to give, or we've discovered these things. Are you not able to verbalize that? Are you just going with vibes every time you meet somebody?
I mean, like I know in my head. I'm talking about like actually like wrote down the list.
No, I'm talking about it's just a list. It doesn't matter if you wrote it down, it's listed in your head. And
I'm
there's something
actually thinking
not, let
about
me
like a
tell you.
list, nigga. Like I wrote
Nah,
a
like
list
okay.
down.
I didn't write it on my loose leaf, so no, I
I
I
know when
don't
I
have
meet a guy, right?
a piece of
I
paper
don't
to
date
write down.
black men that date white women, right? I
Yeah.
don't date men who have more than 3 kids. That's three or more. That's a little too much. I'm not dating you if you are more than 2 years younger than me. There's just certain shit. I'm not dating you if you don't make as much money as I do.
Mm.
And because we have a difference in there. You don't have to make a whole bunch of money, but I can't have a $30,000 disparity. And now we're trying to plan a vacation
Mm.
and we can't. You understand what I'm saying? There's just certain shit.
already know my
Your
stance
list
on
long
that.
as hell.
My list, and it's longer, but
Like,
the things that I want
Your
and the
list
things that
long
I
as hell.
give they're valid.
so it's two different things, though, right? So it's like, it's what are you looking for in this person? You know what I'm saying? Because if it's just a person I'm just going out for drinks, they don't have to hit every damn thing. But if
Right.
it's somebody that I'm gonna invest in myself with,
Mhm.
I have a son, so it's different,
All
You
right, can
gotta
we
be
bring that
making
into
the money.
a new one? I mean, not a new one, but can we do that like the next one because that's like I feel like we should wrap it up because
All right,
because when
what's
you say
Sheldon?
that Shaw, I feel like when you say like okay, this dude don't meet my list, but I'm hanging out with this person, I consider that wasting somebody's time. But that's a whole different topic.
That's called dating.
No, because you know this nigga don't meet your list. You know he don't meet what you require that you want in a man, but you like I just like hanging out with him. Like,
Because
but you
every dude that you meet, every guy that I meet or I want to hang out on a date with is not somebody who I'm looking to be my future husband or the stepfather to my son. It's just
all right.
sometimes you're just hanging out.
So all right.
Hold
So
up.
what if the guy wants that in you though?
That's not her responsibility. And this is coming from a guy who was playing chess to get his dick sucked, remember?
Playing chess?
Chess moves. Stop and think about it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
Sit the
guys,
fuck down.
No.
You need to look in the mirror and stop looking out the window because that was
Yeah.
crazy.
Is the timer about to go off? Because I don't know. What the hell's going on?
Let's wrap it up.
I don't know what's going on. But
okay, so I think that is our time for this today, guys.
we will bring this up the next one. Recap
We will
that
bring
next
that up at the next time. But here
Mhm.
at the close of the show, I'm going to end with a quote, a Shar said it quote. Okay, well, my friend gave me this quote the other day, and it's one to make you think, right? So it goes, Life is a tragedy to those who feel. Life is a comedy to those who think, right? Which one are you? Are you going through life stressed out because you think too much? Or are you laughing your way through it and you're happy? It's just one to sit back and think on, right?
All right.
So that's all we have for today. That's a wrap
From
from the group
From the
chat.
group chat to the podcast.
Oh my goodness, look that up. Make sure you guys tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. But most importantly, make sure you follow us. We're on all the platforms, y'all, all the socials. Follow us on Instagram at Related Conversations Podcast. Follow us on TikTok at Related Conversations. And follow us on YouTube at Related Conversations. Thanks, guys.